Hi. Nice to finally meet you.
Yeah, you too.
So tell me about yourself.
Yeah, sorry. I guess certain questions in our life are designed to have a wide spectrum of answers. In fact, most questions do. I guess I was born in Chicago. And when someone is trying to get to know you, these are the best types of questions to ask. Why? Well, the direction of your answer says a lot. And then 2 years ago, I moved to New York City. Is your answer revealing confidence? Or are you coming across nervous? Are you ignorant? Or funny? Are you ambitious? Boring? Adventurous? Creative? Cultured? Loyal? Vulnerable? Philosophical? Overall, is what you're saying coming across attractive? What else do you say?
Well, I don't know. I just. What do you like to do? Like I don't mean
In this docu-series so far, we explore why being attractive may be more important than you think.
Humans have cared about beauty ever since our species has existed. It's actually what's helped us survive.
If you had to rank yourself on a scale of 1 to 10 and how attractive you think you are, what would you say?
There's a lot of social aspects into this, right? Because the way that somebody looks at you determines like what they think of you.
Then we asked, where do we go to become more attractive? Well, we don't have to go far.
How are you supposed to navigate through this world of consumerism? And defining where this line is on your own personal graph is the journey you must take to escape this consumerism trap.
And finally, we asked, what's the most extreme version of this journey? We're about to get our first, plastic surgery consultation.
We'll clean up the neck with liposuction and what we call neck tight. We're gonna move to the body, so I need you to put on this. So that's body making.
Wow, a lot there.
Yeah, and you're actually a good candidate. Yeah. Now, if you're interested in biceps,
yeah. Do you believe in coincidence? I don't know, but sometimes I feel like there's this higher power that wants me to live through lessons that line up too perfectly.
Listen, and I remember that's the first thing they said to me was just like, I need space basically because I'm spiraling and I can't get out of my head and I just need to talk and I need you to listen. I used to feel like 3 years ago Tejas was a different version than the Tejas I am now. That version of me didn't feel confident, didn't feel secure, and it's easy to let those pieces override your actions and make you feel insecure on a day-to-day.
And actually, that's where this whole docu-series was supposed to end. I went on this journey to understand physical attractiveness, my own, how it's impacted me growing up, and how it's playing out today. But when I think about that original question, why I started this journey in the first place, how to become more attractive scientifically, the answer still felt a bit incomplete.
I don't know what you're doing.
Your physical attractiveness matters. It's to establish a great first impression. But how much of your attractiveness is determined outside of how you look? Spoiler, it's a lot. No one ever asks the question how to best prepare for a second date. And I was stuck on this until one day I met Dr. Thomas SMITHYMAN.
Come take a seat. Dr. Thomas.
Dr. T is a PhD level clinical psychologist with over 20 years of experience helping people overcome social anxiety. He even has his best-selling book, Dating Without Fear, which by now, in this docuseries, you all know and can imagine, very applicable to me. But today, after tricking him into giving me countless free therapy sessions, I can attest that if there's someone that understands the psychology behind attractiveness, it's him.
Attraction is, to a certain extent, in the eye of the beholder. But as well as that, there are certain traits that are just generally more attractive. I can encapsulate most of those into 3 really important ones that everybody can take advantage of to become as attractive as possible.
So instead of just sitting down and explaining these 3 traits that can make anyone more attractive, we thought that the better way would be to make a makeshift dating show. There we go. Behind me, I have 3 judges, these 3 beautiful ladies. And also in a back room, I have these 3 contestants who are completely unaware of what is about to happen.
I peed in your bed yesterday. I beat you bad yesterday. I peed. I peed in your bed yesterday.
The contestants are going to compete against each other in a series of 3 tests, all putting their communication skills to work. Our judges will then rank their answers from most attractive, which will get 5 points, to least attractive, which will only get 1. The whole goal of this experiment is to test how attractive someone is non-physically, and in order to do so, the judges and contestants can't see each other until the very end. There's actually a lot more to attractiveness than what you can see with your own eyes.
All right, contestant 1. On a scale of 1 to 10, how attractive do you think you are?
A 7.2.
Why?
Physical looks isn't everything, and personality I feel like could carry a lot, so.
All right, contestant number 2, what would you say?
8.1.
Why 8.1?
Because 8's my favorite number, and I think it's best to pick an odd decimal point.
On a scale of 1 to 10, I would say I'm a 6.5. Over the last like 5 months, I've gotten a little fat, and it's getting to my head, and it just, I think I have like 8, 9 potential, but I'm definitely just sliding off a cliff. So 6.5 for right now.
How would you describe your personality?
How would I describe my personality? I think I'm just like a general, just nice guy. I try to just make people happy, throw a few jokes in there every once in a while.
I would describe it as playful. And what else?
I would describe my personality as underwhelming throughout the day, but I have little bursts of excitement.
And what do you know about the run of the show today?
There's supposed to be a number of girls that are supposed to be, I guess we're wooing them or something, I don't know.
I know nothing. I feel like we're gonna be interrogated about our skills around dating.
So far, I know nothing about this show other than that there are women here, and my girlfriend will be mad that I'm near women, and so I'm not gonna have a good day whenever this video comes out. I think I will sleep on the couch for a couple days afterwards, but we will bounce back because we always do.
Now, the following questions may seem simple at first glance, but we've spent a couple calls trying to figure out what are the best questions to put them through.
Welcome, contestants. We're going to commence test number 1.
So the first question was, tell me a little about yourself. And we picked this because, one, it's what a date looks like. You are going to have to answer this question and tell people about yourselves. We're going to look at things like how much they self-disclose, openness, honesty, and we're also looking for self-fidelity, which is in fact the first of these important objective measures of attractiveness.
Contestant number 1, tell me about yourself.
Hello, Judge. My name is, or should I do names? My name's COLT. I'm just a guy living out here in New York City, chasing his dreams to become great one day. And I live life just trying to have fun, make good memories, and that's my my spiel.
Okay, polite, pleasant, focused on his future. I just want more.
Ready, contestant 2?
Ready.
Judges, take it away.
Contestant number 2, tell me about yourself.
Tell me about myself. I am, I was born in the United States and I grew up in California. I like hamburgers and I grew up swimming, but now I lift weights and I like to run from my problems. And I also like running, and that's pretty much me.
Okay. Warm voice tone, friendly, a bit of a joke. He revealed things, but it was just the surface level. I want him to really own who he is and show us who he is so that we have something to connect to.
Are you ready, contestant number 3?
Yes.
Judges, take it away.
Contestant number 3, tell me about yourself.
I'm a handsome young man, good height, average body, but strong. Could carry you and a team, a good unit. I am the owner of a small media company. I'm the sole proprietor, CEO. Year to date, our income is up 500%. The prior year, we did not do very well, but this year we are doing well. Moderately athletic to some. Shoe size 12. I think those are the important details.
Yeah, so here's our problem with that. So I'm gonna start off, let's start off with the good stuff. Humorous, playful. On the self-fidelity front, we didn't know who he is. All we got was descriptions of physical traits, basically. Physical traits and some business achievement. There's nothing to connect to there yet.
Judge number 1, please tell us your rankings from 3rd place to 1st place.
Okay, well, 3rd place, I'm gonna do contestant number 3. I mean, for pros, I said that you're an entrepreneur and you sound confident, but you did mention your shoe size and height, which I don't know if you're being honest. So I put that down as a con, and I did say you sound a little bland and weak. For 2nd place, I gave contestant number 2. You didn't share your name, but a pro is that you like hamburgers. You sound positive. You're from California. The cons are that you lift weights, you run, and you didn't share your name. The winner for me is contestant number 1, COLT, because you actually gave us your name. You talked about just kind of wanting to have a good time, and you have a good voice.
3rd place, I gave to contestant number 1. It was just like very quick, and I wrote down, I got nothing from that. I don't even know what happened. I did write down a pro, like you chase your dreams, which is very sweet. For 2nd place, I gave contestant number 2. I wrote down seems like a bro, like you lift weights. I'm not super into it, but like good for you, I guess. And the winner, 1st place, is gonna be number 3. I thought you were hilarious. I laughed at, you could carry me. I was like, that's funny. I love like a joke. I did write that you kind of care too much about money. I genuinely don't care about the money you make at your company, but thanks for like sharing, I guess.
And judge number 3, please tell us your rankings from 3rd place to 1st place and why.
I put number 3 in 3rd place. I think you have a really nice voice, but I don't like how you only really talked, or like you led with your accomplishments. It seemed kind of braggy. I put, for 2nd place, contestant number 1. I think you seem ambitious and earnest and like kind-hearted. And then for 1st place, I gave it to contestant number 2. I thought you were really funny and like relatable.
Congratulations, contestant number 2. You're in the lead. The rest of you need to kind of step it up, but all right.
There's so many traits that make someone attractive. Like, why do you think this is an objective trait? Like, one of the 3.
Self-fidelity is faithfulness to the self. It means knowing who you are and then owning it. We want to know who somebody is and believe that we know who they are so that we can rely upon them. And if we don't, then we can't relax around them.
All right, boys, I'm curious. Thoughts after test 1?
Came off guard a little bit. I didn't know what to expect and what the rules were fully. I kind of forgot them.
But you're in the lead.
I am, so I don't know how I did that.
2nd place, how are you feeling?
Dude, I screwed up. I feel like I was just like a man of mystery, didn't say anything, and Velko ended up being last, which sucks, but everybody was like laughing at him. Even you were laughing. Yeah. I was like, oh shoot, mine was so bad.
And number 3 here, contestant number 3, and in 3rd place. How you feeling?
I feel horrible. I'm stress eating. I mean, I know they're judges, but I felt like they were too judgy and they were a little harsh. I'm very down. A little thirsty, very hungry. My life's falling apart.
So test 2 ended up being quite a creative test. Why did we format it in the way we did?
Yeah, this was designed to get at what, in my experience, is what people complain about the most when they have bad dates. We are going to test for curiosity and presence.
Each one of our judges has written a 2-minute story from their past with 2 really awkward 10-second breaks in between them. And the hope is that the contestant will recognize this is where they should have a follow-up question. How conversational will they be? Judges, you will rank how attractive their follow-up questions are. Let's go get them. There is one other twist. Contestants, are you ready? For this test, we're gonna have you guys come in one at a time.
Ooh, I don't have my brothers to help me out.
We're gonna have the winner of round number 1 go first.
Oh, no.
Here you go.
Good luck, Sheriff. He's out there for you, man.
Please stand right over here. Contestant number 2. You ready?
I'm ready.
You know what to do?
No.
Perfect. Judge number 1, go ahead.
So I consider myself pretty grounded, but that all changed on June 13th. There's really nothing special about that Thursday. It was a typical New York summer evening. My dog, Martin, needed to go out one more time, but when I was going downstairs, things took a turn. On a 5th step from the bottom, my foot slips and I fall forward. Upon impact, the pain was apparent. Thankfully, I had my phone and could call my brother.
Immediately, right? Facial reaction and response to what he's hearing. He is processing it and reflecting it. So it's impacting him.
It's dangling, I screamed. He says we need to go to the hospital and I sobbed, I can't.
I'm so sorry. Am I allowed to talk? Yeah, how are you doing today?
Oh, I mean, yeah, broken leg, but
Still, it hasn't fully recovered?
no.
I'm sorry you had to deal with that. How's your dog doing?
Oh my God, thanks for asking. He's a little traumatized, I'm not gonna lie.
He's killing it so far. He was listening, he was reactive, and he responded in a way that was clearly both curious, asking like really appropriate follow-up questions, and also showing that he was like kind and altruistic. He cared both about her and the dog.
En route to the hospital, my brother is trying to keep things light. He asked the paramedic how bad she thinks it is. What are the chances of it actually being broken, or is it just a bad sprain? We finally arrive at New York's hottest club, Bellevue Hospital. They finally give me Tylenol because I can't have anything else until the doctor sees me. The pain is so excruciating.
So I don't know what happened here. Like I'm just imagining this on a date. He's doing great, and then like the second half of the story, he's just like, I'm just not going to respond. Tip: listen to the second half of the story. I think really that's the key for this one.
I hope you were paying attention. If you get this question correct, you get an additional 3 points. Go ahead.
What hospital did I go to?
It starts with a B. You said it's a big party place. I want to say Bellheim. I forget. Bell something.
Judge, it's up to you if you believe that answer is satisfactory or not.
I'll take it.
Congratulations, contestant number 2. You got 3 additional bonus points. The judges have written down some notes, and we'll see how you fared.
SHERVIN did a great job there. He was present, he was reactive, asked good follow-up questions when he chose to engage in asking follow-up questions.
At what point did you catch on, or did you realize what you had to do?
I think she was like throwing random details. So I was like, okay. I thought she was gonna ask the name of her dog. And I was like, I forgot that one. So thank God she didn't ask that.
Contestant number 1, you are next.
Dang, dude, SHERVIN looks genuinely upset. I'm scared now. Why are these girls so mean, bro? These girls are so judgy.
Alrighty. You know what to do?
I do not.
Perfect. Judge number 2, go ahead.
My best friend and I backpacked Europe last summer. We both had been dumped for the first time, so we did what any heartbroken girlie would do. We bought a one-way ticket. We had no plans after our first stop. We pretty much just went wherever we could get to the cheapest.
I'm gonna point this out. They can't see this because of the screen, but he's doing minimal encourages, which are where he's like, you know, you do these little nods or you show these little facial reactions that you're listening like you're doing now, and it's showing you are really present and focused on them.
I was fully working remote and exaggerated the truth just a bit. They thought I was at my family's home in Italy, while I was actually at Airbnbs, hostels, and sometimes the airport floor.
Do I comment on that? Oh, well, I'm sorry you got dumped, but you know, in life things are meant to be. So if they're not the person for you, then I think greater things are meant for you. And I do love adventures, kind of very similar to my life, just kind of taking risks and seeing what happens. And life's too short to not go to Italy and explore the world. So
he's doing what I think a lot of people accidentally do. He was listening and paying attention. And when it got to the point of asking a follow-up question, he acknowledged what he'd heard and then he started talking about his own perspective on it.
He does go on and it almost like disregards what they just said.
Yeah, that's what it feels like. He was like, it was an acknowledgement of like, oh, I heard this, but hey, that's fine. Here's my perspective. Someone's telling you a story, ask them at least 1 or 2 follow-ups before you share your position or a story of your own.
And I've actually, traveled Europe for free, basically, for about a week. And it was actually terrible because you're just straight up homeless. But that's what life's about, you know? Taking chances and finding love.
We decided to go out, as girls do, to the local watering hole. We quickly noticed the girl-to-guy ratio was different from our last stop. Lots of guys, not too many girls. We didn't think much of it. When we started to meet and talk to different guys, they asked us the same question. Are you here for the race?
The race. What race? If I was a guy in that situation, I would probably ask you the very exact same question. And based off your answer, I'd probably kind of read context clues, whether you're bored or not, of the same exact question being answered.
Day of the race, my bestie and I buy a bottle of rosé and hop on the train to Monaco. I see a guy walking with purpose, so I ask him, you know, how do we get to see this race? He also looks at me like I'm crazy and is like, what are you doing here? You don't have a ticket. So from that point forward, we followed this man into a place called Nikki Beach. He snuck us through the back door. We had the whole view of the Formula One race in Monaco. We had the best time, and then we just went home and just slept. And then the following Tuesday, I got nominated for the Employee of the Month.
Okay, I hope you were paying attention. If you get this question right, you get an additional 3 points.
What is the name of the beach bar that I saw or went to?
I'm gonna disappoint you. I was trying to come up with something clever and be like, oh, that guy that you met was actually me. And that was my beach bar that I don't know the name to. And then I got distracted because I'm thinking like, ooh, Monaco, is that like F1 racing?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. And then I started thinking about cars and stuff, so.
Part of the reason presence and curiosity are so attractive is it makes the other person feel important. The person is investing in you. They actually care about you on some level, which is really, really important.
Like, there is not a better feeling in the world when you're telling someone something and you know they're listening to you and they're basically prioritizing you over anything else that they could be doing in that moment.
That is basically as attractive as it gets.
Whatever you do, just do it with 100% intentionality. So if I'm here in this moment, if we're on camera or off camera, it's like, I'm here with you. There's nothing else that needs to matter right now.
And I will say, on the receiving end, you feel it. Like, I can feel that around you. And there is research, by the way, that having the phone around, people's attention gets pulled away, and the conversations just don't go as deep.
Dang it. What did I do? What didn't I do? It's so confusing. It's like half sentences. I wasn't sure if I was supposed to role play or something. I have no idea.
One thing that was interesting with this response specifically is he acknowledged and he owned up to the fact that he didn't know. Yeah. He's like, I'm so sorry. I was thinking about this, almost like a fourth wall break. He's like, this is what I was thinking about. I don't know the name of the beach. And he actually ends it with another detail of her story being like, congrats on Employee of the Month.
That's that self-fidelity. That's that honesty. He was owning, I didn't do that. Here's what I was doing instead, and he apologized.
Yeah.
If we do screw up, which we do constantly, people vastly prefer it if we're honest about it. The flip side of that, right, is where you make excuses, justifications, you deny wrongdoing, and people really don't like that.
All right, our underdog of the evening. Contestant number 3.
You're fine, bro.
Follow me.
I have no fear.
Put that mic close to your face.
Let's go.
Let's go, man. I'm ready, baby.
whoa, chill. Jesus Christ.
I just need to get hyped up.
Contestant, please stand in front of this camera. In front of you, you have our underdog of the evening, contestant number 3. You know what to do?
I know what to do.
Judge number 3, go ahead.
So this is an old one, but I had just graduated 8th grade. It was the summer right before high school. I was walking home from summer camp, which is only about 20 minutes away. I lived in the neighborhood, and I was crossing through this strip mall parking lot. So it's my normal route. I wasn't, diverting or doing anything differently. And a minivan comes up to me. A man rolls down his window and says, "Do you know where I can see Slumdog Millionaire?"
Interesting. He appears to be listening, but reacting in a very discouraging way to the story. Wouldn't encourage that.
I tell him where there's a Blockbuster in the strip mall and that he can rent it from there. But he seemed uninterested in that, so I'm like, bro is weird, something is off.
It's funny to see his facial reactions, and what was the term you used when Colt would go?
Yeah, minimal encourages.
Minimal encourages? He's minimally...
Discourage? I think he's invented a new social skill called minimal discourages. Yeah, and he's like shooting down the person's story as we go, yeah.
We were near a very busy street, so I think that's kind of what stopped him from possibly getting out of the car and grabbing me.
Do you have any follow-up questions?
Were we having a conversation?
Listening to a story.
I genuinely think my brain can't hold that much data. This is so many words.
I mean...
Do we need a breakdown of how that went?
I think this is a perfect example of self-fidelity.
Uh-huh, go on.
He owned up to it.
Yeah, although I would disagree. He said, "Oh, I can't hold that much information." That's he can definitely hold that much information.
Yeah.
Like as humans, we're made to follow story and to learn through story. He can hold that information. I think at some point he must have stopped processing the story and he went off into something else. It's a nice contrast, right? Because I think the same thing happened with Colt, and Colt owned it.
Okay, I hope you were paying attention. Yes. If you get this following question right, you get an additional 3 points.
What year was this story taking place in?
Well, you said you saw the movie in 2008, but I think you said you were in 8th grade. Oh, I'm gonna have to deduce here. I'm gonna go like 2012.
Yes.
All right.
This guy, as well as being humorous, he's clearly very intelligent. In this case, using his intelligence to try to, recover from having no curiosity or real presence expressed.
I wonder what he was thinking about in that long hole.
Yeah, I wondered too.
Velko, when you watch this, please comment below. What were you thinking?
What was going on? What was going through your head?
Yeah.
What's going through your head?
I don't feel good. I think they like me. I always thought I was a good listener, but I had no idea what the hell she was talking about.
You said, I don't think my brain could hold that much data.
Dog, she talked for like 4 minutes.
Good job, contestants, on test number 2. If you couldn't tell, we were testing your listening, presence, and curiosity. We're gonna start with judge number 1.
So the person that I put in 3rd place, this is no surprise. It's contestant number 3. Felt like you weren't really present in the conversation. Second place, I gave to number 2. You heard my story and you were extremely attentive. You asked about my dog. And then in first place goes to COLT. I put you like taking chances, you're comfortable, mindful, and witty.
Judge number 2, go ahead.
So last place is going to be contestant number 3. You really put your foot in your mouth when you like got here and you were like, yeah, I know what to do, like so cocky, and then you had no idea what to do. You just lied. I feel like you didn't even like give to the conversation, you actually like took. Like I might have like lost some brain cells a little bit. Not to like roast you. I was honestly cheering you on the last one, so I was a little disappointed, but moving on to number 2. Second place, I ranked contestant number 2. I wrote you're a great listener, cares about her and her dog, and you seem like very genuine. And then first place was number 1, you're an angel. I had like wanted to wipe my tears when you were like coaching me through my little breakup. I wrote down very sweet. My con was like you got distracted with boy stuff, which is like normal, but like kind of started thinking about, you know, F1, which I get it, but that was the only con I had. You're very sweet.
Judge number 3, go ahead.
Okay, so I put in third place contestant number 3. I'm sorry to do this to you, but yeah, you coming in all like cocky and stuff. I think the bragging bit is getting old, and so maybe you should like kill that. But you did remember the year, which is nice, and I like that you use the word deduce. I use that word often, so. Second place, I put in number 1. Now you were very sweet, you make really good conversation, but I think that some points you were trying to come up with your answers or like not actively listening fully. And then for first place, I did number 2. You are still my first place, you know, winner. I really liked how you remembered her dog. It felt that you genuinely were like interested in the story. You asked even why she was telling the story, which no one has asked us, like, what the hell, why are you telling this story?
Honestly, the only person I'm going to give a 20-word thing, if you do want to say anything, is contestant number 3 here.
I honestly don't want to hear from him, but he needs it.
I was rooting for him, to be honest.
Sorry.
I believe in you.
Whoever believes in me, thank you.
She didn't believe in you a second ago, so.
I think I may come off as confident because it's something I don't have in my ordinary life. I lack confidence, and I try to make up for it. I haven't lied to you about anything. I just try to give you details through this screen that I think you might care for, but that was me coming in with my own, I don't want to say prejudice, but my own assumptions about you. I know we're here being judged based on trivial answers at times, but I think the totality of myself is okay. It's not amazing, but...
Oh, you're okay. Yeah, you're okay. I think
but
you're fine.
That is about 20 words. At the end of test 2, we have contestant 2 in first place with 25 points. Contestant 1 with 22 points. And contestant number 3 with 13 points. Let's take him to the back room for the final test. Explain to me why we crafted test 3 in the way we did.
Yes, we wanted for test 3 to have what felt more like a real life date. So where they're interacting back and forth with each other. We can see how somebody responds. It's going to reveal a lot of different traits that matter for attraction, but we're going to specifically be looking at warmth, which is the third of those really important criteria.
For the final test, the ball is in your court. You have a date sitting right across this curtain from you, and you have 3 minutes. The goal? To have a better 3-minute date than the other contestants. Start the timer.
Tell me about yourself. What's your name?
I'm Alexis.
Alexis, nice to meet you.
And you didn't actually tell me your name, so
Yeah, I
what's
thought
your
we were
name?
supposed to keep it a secret, but my name is SHERVIN.
Okay, SHERVIN.
But I go by Steven at Starbucks.
So, wait. That's hilarious, actually. So you got anything else?
I have a last name too. What about you?
I do as well.
Yeah?
It's French. Some people find it hard to pronounce.
I mean, he's doing great. He is warm, his voice tone is warm. He's expressing a lot of curiosity, he's clearly listening, and he's picking up on what matters with his follow-up questions.
What other languages other than English and French?
I don't speak Creole. My family is from Haiti, so
Okay.
they all speak Creole and French, and my dad speaks a little German, a little bit of Spanish, all, you know, a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
And how many of those do you understand?
I can understand Creole pretty well.
I will say, if we had to be nitpicky, you know, it's right now, how many languages, what exact languages, how much do you know each, you know, that's very detail oriented. We want to find depth, right? We don't want to be just like information, right? We want to get more like to kind of like emotional topics if we can.
Please don't test me on my French.
And were you born in America?
Yeah, I was born in Chicago, actually.
And what do you think were like some of the biggest cultural challenges you had being raised by parents who maybe grew up in like a different culture and world?
Yeah, my dad.
So here we went deep, right? This was like, went from just, you know, it made sense because it was from languages to culture.
Yeah, you could tell by the reaction of the girls too. They were like, whoa.
Yeah.
So it wasn't that hard. I went to like, you know, private schools. They tried to really immerse me.
Yeah.
What about you? Like, is education really important to your family?
Yeah, it's pretty much education or die.
Yeah, right. Is there like a thing that all of your, you know, like family members aspire to be, like a doctor or a lawyer or something
Yeah,
like that?
you have like 4 options. You can either be a doctor, lawyer, engineer, or a disappointment.
Oh my God, that's same.
Yeah.
That's literally like bar for bar. That's exactly my family.
Which one did you get? Which bucket
Disappointment, unfortunately.
Me too.
Oh my gosh,
yeah.
it's kismet.
So you could see there, right? He made a joke, very playful, but also they found similarity. You could see when they were in sync like that and in similarity, they were both laughing together.
Yeah.
Like if you look at research into attraction, laughing together is one of the best predictors if this is going well.
So you're from California, right?
Yeah, I was born there.
Okay. How was it moving here? When did you move here, actually?
It was great. I like California and it has like really temperate weather, but I love the hustle and bustle and the chaos of New York.
Yeah.
I moved here because of serendipity.
Oh, sick,
What about
yeah. I moved here for my master's in fashion management, and my sister went to Columbia for film, so I was like, I'm gonna follow my older sister.
And what's your favorite thing about your sister and one favorite thing about your dad?
They're so intelligent. They inspire me to like really immerse myself and try to be more curious in life. So I think that's the most, my favorite things about them, both
Intelligence
actually.
and curiosity. I love that.
Yeah.
Well, it was great hanging out with you.
It's great hanging out with you too.
Yeah.
If you had to critique him in some way, what would you say? I actually have one in mind. I'm curious if you.
Well, let's hear yours.
No, you go first.
No, come on, you can't be dropping these secrets. Let's hear it.
Fair,
Yeah.
fair. Up until the very end, I feel like he didn't say much about himself. Like if we look at the depth that each person went into the date, I think she talked and like got deeper. He kept asking questions, but almost the opposite problem to what COLT did.
I was going to say the same thing. Yeah, because I think that about him too. It's warm, very curious, very good with the follow-up questions.
Yeah.
Lots of questions, but I think he leans on that and less onto that self-disclosure.
Give you this. Thank you. Please take a seat.
Oh, man.
For test number 3, the ball is in your court. And your goal, to have a better 3-minute date than the other contestants. You are down 3 points right now in the competition. Good luck.
Hello, miss. What brings you here today?
Yeah, I mean, just this, I guess.
Well, thank you for coming on a date with me. I was really interested in you and getting to know you more. And with that, what is your name?
Oh, my name's Beverley, but you can call me Bev.
Bev, I love that. It's such a great name. Do you like wine?
I love wine.
Well, it's crazy because we got wine in front of us now.
I know, should we cheers?
Cheers, ready? 3, 2, 1.
Chink.
So we'll say that, you know, it's kind of cute, right? Like this is flirtation.
How would you define flirtation?
The real definition of like flirtation is, it's 2 parts. So one part is having basically attractive traits, physical, personality. The second part is suggesting, hinting that you are interested in investing that into the other person. And that there's a mixed message there, right? You're not making it super obvious, but you have the person thinking, oh, maybe this person likes me.
Ooh. You know, I think in relationships, it's good to have some contrast. I would say I'm not really a wine guy myself.
Okay.
But that means more for you, you know?
I mean, yeah, I can't complain. What are you then? What kind of guy are you?
I'm still trying to figure that out. I'd say right now, my relationship with alcohol, for example, is I'll just wait for when it's time to show up, and a couple times a year I'll show up and go hard.
Okay.
And just kind of have fun. But trying to figure out if that's the right method. Anyways, what do you like to do? What's fun for you?
Ooh, I mean, let's see. I have a dog.
Dog person, cat person?
Dog person.
Oh, 100%.
But I don't discriminate against cats. I just think that it's it's a little bit different. I'm definitely a dog person.
Same page.
How about you?
Born and raised in New York, now
Okay.
living in the city. I come from kind of like a farm area, woods, outdoors. And I actually thought I would end up in California, just kind of more my vibe, I believe. But I've kind of found my little posse in New York City. So I'm gonna be here for
Wait.
the foreseeable future.
That's cute.
And yeah. Do you, kind of odd question, but do you like Legos?
Yeah, I like Legos.
Well, I'm a huge Lego fan, so if you want to
You want a
build
Lego?
Lego set together.
Should we Lego?
Oh, should we Lego?
You want a Lego?
Lego.
2 seconds. I'll Lego. Anyways, we should probably order some food, no?
I do like that he's really buying the setup to this. But still, it was like, okay, quick dip into Lego, but then we didn't get deep into
Like
it.
if you followed up with why Legos mean so much to him.
Yeah, well,
been better.
she said she loved Legos.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, I'm pretty Moorish. What do you suggest?
Do you have any dietary restrictions?
Nah, nothing that a couple Benadryls can't fix.
Gotcha. No, are you vegetarian?
Oh, goodness, no.
Oh my God, I'm falling in love more and more.
Oh my God, stop, Cole.
And that was a very flirtatious giggle in response to his flirtatious comments.
You know, right now, what we should do, I'm gonna insert a clip here of Colt. Colt, you have a minute on this episode to just say your love to KRISA.
I'm shirtless right now. Please ignore the attractiveness out here. Yes, I wear a promise ring every single day. I love my girlfriend so much. All of this is, acting, and yeah, I was just trying to test out my Riz. I've only had 2 girlfriends in my life, so my Riz is just so good, bro. I'm just bam, locked in. So
That's not the point of this video.
What am I supposed to say?
Your love for KARIZA.
Oh, I love you, KRISTIE. I'm gonna marry you. I am gonna marry KRISTIE, so just know that. And if I flirt with any girl, which I don't, if it's on video, it's usually because I'm acting.
Oh my God, stop, Cole.
Well, it's been great getting to know you, and I really hope we can build some Legos together.
Oh my God, save.
Contestant number 3. Contestant number 3, I'm gonna do something different that I didn't do with the other 2 guys.
Can I have a swig of this?
Yeah, exactly. Take a quick swig. How are you feeling?
I mean, I think I came in a little too hot, and I don't think I've represented myself well.
Interesting.
In that room, I've just been reflecting a lot. Just a lot of strong emotions, sadness, honestly. I'm disappointed in myself.
Yeah.
And I think the last couple months, I've just been questioning like my identity and who I am as a person. And this, honestly, I thought was going to be like a fun experience, but it's crushed me a little bit. Like, and I think I use humor to deflect sometimes, but there is a large layer of truth, like a thick layer of truth, of how much this has affected me.
We'll unpack that a little later.
Okay.
But right now, for test number 3, the ball is in your court.
I will say one of his challenges is having been kind of like humorous and like kind of veering into the arrogant versus humble side. People like don't know whether to trust that, you know, because like it's like what we're getting at here is that trustworthiness. Is he showing trustworthiness or
Is
not?
this a bit?
Or is it a bit? Yeah.
Hello.
Hi. I guess I haven't shared my name yet. My name is Velko. What is your name?
My name is KRISTIE. So lovely to meet you.
KRISTIE, you have a wonderful voice. It's like it's bright.
Oh, thank you. Wait, I just have to say that you were my #1 in the first round. So like, don't get down on yourself. You know, you're gonna be okay.
No, I really appreciate that. And like I said, we are in a dark room, and it has been an interesting, a challenging few months.
Yeah.
So even just hearing your voice right now, it's a bright and happy voice.
you're
And
sweet.
I came in here hot and
Hey.
confident and all this stuff, and I kind of regret it now, but I'm happy that it's led to this moment, to having this conversation with you, and just hearing your voice makes it all a little bit better.
You're good. I actually thought you were really funny in the first round. I was like, he's hilarious. Like I like loved you. I was like, it's great. He's so funny. So you're good, you know.
Thank you. You have cheered me up. Let's talk about you.
Let's do it.
What do you do for work? Tell me a little bit about yourself. I've told you about me a little
Yeah, let's run it with my story. I'm from Florida, but I lived in LA for almost 6 years. I worked in fashion historically, and now I work in beauty.
Very cool.
So yeah, that's kind of it. How about you?
I'm just gonna ask you a follow-up question
Yeah,
on that.
Look at that. I was going to say, like, you know, she hit a bunch of information. She tried to move it immediately into, and what about you? Give me information. He's like, no, wait. Like, I want to do follow-up. I want to get to know more about that.
So is that where your heart lies, fashion and beauty? Like, is that one of your passions? Is that something you want to pursue long-term?
Honestly, no. I'm actually extremely burnt out from the entire. I feel like beauty's fine, but fashion industry, no. I like kind of just want to be like maybe a housewife or like have like a little side passion. But I'm not interested in grinding any longer.
But it's good that you've like learned from these experiences, and now it's kind of changed the direction you want to go in.
Yeah, definitely.
Are you the type of person who wants to like have a family? Because you said housewife. Is that something that's like a big priority? Because I think, especially in the dating world, we all have like certain things that are core pillars, and a lot of people want to be moms, and I think it's one of the greatest things in the world to be.
Yeah, definitely. My mom is my best friend. I would love to be blessed enough to have kids eventually, not for a couple years, hopefully. I'm definitely like a family girl, I would say.
Yeah, I think families, it's huge. It's everything. I wanted to say once again, like you do seem like I've had a harsh time here, but you have said kind things, and I feel like you're a person who would be very supportive, like an uplifting parent. And that's huge. Like that is something, a kid needs to be able to believe that they can achieve any of their dreams, and they need somebody in their corner, so that's an amazing quality.
Yeah, where are you from though? I need to know more about you.
I was born in Europe,
Whoa.
spent some time in Chicago, and now I've been living here just trying to make something of my life.
10 seconds remaining.
When did you come here?
I was very young, but we only have 10 seconds. Thank you for talking to me. You seem like a good human.
Aw.
Good chat.
Yeah, you redeemed yourself. It was lovely talking to you as well.
Thank you, contestant number 3.
Okay, so she liked it.
Yeah.
She liked it. And
It was a redemption.
It was a redemption. That was, I mean, compared to what we saw before, this was, basically a drop of all of that. Yeah, he revealed about himself, she revealed about herself, and they both complemented each other.
Compliments, vulnerability, depth.
Yeah.
It's a great trifecta in a date.
Yeah.
What a day. Judges, for one final time, we're gonna go through the scores. Who you rated least attractive on a date to most attractive on a date?
Okay, so for third place, I put Velko, or how is your name? but I do think that you have a lot of redeeming qualities, and I'm really sorry if we were harsh. You seem extremely sweet, and keep your head up. You felt a little too dominant, like you were really trying to like guide the conversation a little too much. It seemed a little abrasive, and it seems like you need a little bit too much like coddling. For me.
I didn't feel that way.
I didn't either.
All right.
Second place, I gave to SHERVIN, aka Steve. You asked some great questions, which was showing that you were extremely attentive. You wanted to get to know my fellow judge. You asked her about her culture and the differences, which I think is super important. The only thing I would say that was a con for you, it seemed like too much like you were volleying like questions. And then obviously we know who won in my book. COLT, You're a babe. Sober curious. I thought you were playful, polite, respectful, and complimentary. And the only other con was that you sat a little too much in the awkward silences, and I think you could have, like, you know, had a little bit more fun.
Okay, I'm gonna start with third place, which I gave to contestant number 1, I think is Colt. He was so sweet. Like, I feel like you have warm energy. My cons were the relationship with alcohol. I just thought was an interesting note. I was like, is that an issue? Like, what's going on there? It felt a little disingenuous to me. Like, you were just kind of trying to match Bev's vibe, I guess. Second place, I give to contestant number 2. I thought you were so funny. I like laughed. I love a goofy guy, it's the best. My cons here is like, you just like weren't giving a lot. I wrote down manic pixie dream guy, which I don't know if you know what that means, but it's like, we don't know anything about you, really. We just, you know, you asked about her, which was sweet, but like we, you know, this should have been a two-way street here. Or the first place, number 3, bless his heart. I had to give you a win. I feel like you really won me back. I know, you deserve it. Like, I've been your cheerleader. You know, the second thing was not too good, but I liked everything else. Like, I don't know, I thought you were like sweet and just like asked me. The only con, like obviously the work question, but I feel like that's such a normal question to ask, like what do you do for work?
All right, judge number 3, third place to first place.
Third place was number 1, actually. He kind of seemed a little bit stiff. I do think you were really funny, and I did really like the fact that you were already like planning the next date. I think that's super cute, and it obviously shows interest in the person that you're speaking with. And so then for second place, I gave it to number 3. Okay, like you deserve it to like, you've made a comeback. I think you're self-reflective and introspective. I think that you care about how you come off a little bit too much maybe, and I think you have these preconceived notions that women want to hear certain things, and so you first, like you're off bat, like that's the first thing that you present. And then for first place, I gave it to contestant number 2. I thought you were very funny. I think the conversation flowed really well. It felt like a really good like back and forth, and I didn't think that there was really any cons there. I thought that I could have kept talking, so yeah.
All right, for one final time, let's add up the scores. The person who's the most attractive non-physically is contestant number 2.
Thank Colt and Velko for being great contestants. They really uplifted me when I was down in the waiting room.
Shervin, you're the best. I want to say thank you to the crew. I don't know many of your names, but you seem like good people.
I think personally it's been very introspective. There's a lot of things that I think of by myself, and it's kind of either proven right or proven wrong through this this little trial. And if you get to know me, I'm pretty sweet, but maybe, you know, I edge on the side of too polite sometimes.
I'm sure there are 1,000 different traits you could have put in those top 3. Why did you pick self-fidelity, presence/curiosity, and warmth as the 3 main objective pillars?
If we're trying to understand why these things matter, the idea in psychology is that it is suggestive of who would be a good parent. Not only who'd be a good partner, but like somebody with these kind of qualities will be a great parent. Want a parent who is warm and kind, doesn't get angry and isn't gonna be violent. They're interested in you, because that means they're actually they're gonna invest in you. They're not just gonna like suddenly disappear. And then you want them to be trustworthy, right? You want them to be faithful to themselves. You know they're gonna stand up for what they believe in. They have these values, and you can rely upon that. So you want a reliable person who is kind and actually cares about you.
I love it.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a nugget. 8 months ago, I asked a question. Does being more attractive matter? And if so, how do I become more attractive? The idea of exploring this taboo subject and going on a journey sounded fun. For example, let's unveil the science behind hair and a haircut.
Your eyes immediately gravitate towards the top, or at least where it's most heaviest, right?
As we explore how beauty plays a role in our society today.
Students believed that the attractive individuals got the higher status jobs.
Let's see if there's truth behind how colors affect your skin and impression.
So you do have more yellowness than the redness?
And discuss consumerism and the infinite amount of options that are presented to us that claim to make us look better.
But the second and third time you buy those things, you're incrementally getting less and less happy.
Let's even go to the extreme and see an expert in physical beauty, someone that can alter what was once thought permanent.
So now, usually what guys are looking for is just how do we kind of turn things up
and decode the statistics that reveal the objectivity behind attractiveness.
But doesn't diminish their willingness to engage in protected or unprotected sex with those men.
But attractiveness doesn't just end at the physical level. How much of it is everything else?
Third place, this is no surprise. It's contestant number 3.
Luckily, those who know best can easily summarize the important stuff into 3 traits that everyone can have control over.
I can encapsulate most of those into 3 really important ones that everybody can and should take advantage of.
And as I said earlier in this episode, that's where this whole series was supposed to end. But it felt like something was missing. In the span of 4 days, things went from incredible to a complete halt. And in that time, not much physically changed. So that must mean...
When you first mentioned to me this heartbreak you went through and how you didn't understand why it collapsed in the way it did, I went through our 3-trait checklist. Is it warmth? No. You got plenty of warmth. Is it curiosity? No, I talked to you for like 20 minutes. It was clearly not curiosity, you know, and so like my instinct will always be, even with a little bit of information I had at the time, I'm like, I think this is a self-fidelity issue. What I want is this good feeling. What I want is this particular person. And because I value that so much, let me just suppress who I am so that I maintain that connection. Honestly, it's such a core human struggle, that conflict between acceptance and authenticity.
Is it recording now?
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi.
The funny thing is, if we stick to who we are, it doesn't work out sometimes. But if we don't stick to who we are, it still doesn't work out.
Yeah.
And it's just, there's a bunch of like pain in the middle.
Then it was when you told me about self-fidelity again in that moment, it was like, it all like clicked. Because I like looked back on those moments. Oh, that was a moment where I was a pushover. I didn't, one, really know exactly what I valued. So it was hard for me to stand up for it.
Totally.
And it was like, I didn't want to anger or disagree with that person because I was like, if this all ends, like what's gonna happen? I'm gonna, this is it. Right? Self-fidelity means faithfulness in your own values, and confidence is a measurement of that faithfulness in yourself. And even though the goal of the last 8 months was to understand physical attractiveness, honestly, my real journey was watching this word I've heard all my life be redefined for me in real time. Now, I thought I was a confident person. I'm bold in my actions, a bit cocky, and not afraid to take risks. But it took an insecure trip down memory lane.
Today is December 31st, 2019.
A shopping haul with my mom.
And even now I buy stuff for you too.
A failed relationship, and a clinical psychologist to reveal to me, yeah, I still need to find what I truly value and learn how to own it. But hey, I'm now aware of this journey, and that's a win, because confidence really is the most attractive trait. So yeah, If you ask me how to become more attractive scientifically, I could say a lot. But maybe there's a deeper question you need to ask.